We're just 3 games shy of this fella getting a haircut. Haaland's coming for Vardy's record. Ange's Forest nightmare is over. And the greatest league in the world is back with a bang. This is DMAC Daily. Day 1 of me not cutting my hair till Liverpool win 5 games in a, just playing. I ain't getting myself into that mess. In all seriousness though, what have we just witnessed? It is absurd that this United team pulled up to Anfield, a venue they hadn't won at in over 9 years, against the reigning Premier League champions fresh off of a 400 million plus window, only for Harry Maguire to be the difference maker. Football really does defy logic sometimes. From a United perspective, this is obviously a phenomenal result. Regardless of where the club's currently at, to win this fixture in isolation is always a special outcome. Bigger picture though, it's back-to-back wins for Amorim. Crazy that despite all his previous woes, he has now won at the Etihad and Anfield before Arteta. Personally, I'm just glad to say I never doubted the guy. I definitely haven't made multiple videos clowning on him. I'm telling you, this AI stuff, it's getting out of hand. So yeah, I know the pro Amorim crowd are going to be running victory laps today. Maybe this entire time, all United actually needed was a competent goalkeeper to make this system work. I mean, Lamens' impact has been clear as day. However, maybe this is a hot take, but I'm still not convinced here. They conceded so many chances today. Liverpool, who are a shambles right now, hit the woodwork on 3 separate occasions. This was not a defensive masterclass. So my perspective on Amorim's team is not going to change until the results drastically change. Not like winning 2 games in a row after 8 months. I mean a consistent period of success in the months ahead. If they keep winning, keep rising up the table, then I'm gonna have to hold up a massive L. Just like Liverpool. That's 4 straight L's now, in fact. The last time that happened, Brendan Rodgers was at the helm. I guess being an oil club doesn't really suit them, although it is quite baffling to watch it all unfold. Isak's getting slandered. Wirtz is now, what, Ben 10? All the new signings bar Ekitike have just been poor. I think the dramatic fall-off of Salah, though, indicates that this is bigger than individual underperformers. This team, collectively, appears devoid of an identity or any coherent tactical structure, and if Slot doesn't figure out a solution quick, this could get out of hand. At some point, Salah may have to be dropped here. Give Chiesa a start. Seriously, he's one of their only consistent performers right now, but is never rewarded. I'm just perplexed by Liverpool right now. It's a mess wherever you look. Moving to Haaland FC, I mean Manchester City, and their robot is doing some pretty extraordinary things right now. 11 consecutive games for club and country, this man has found the back of the net. He and Mbappe's current streak is just 1 shy of CR7's record of 12 in a row across all competitions. But the stats get even crazier. In the Premier League's fewest matches to accumulate 10 goals, Haaland holds the top 3. He is the best striker to ever grace the Premier League. It's absurd what he's doing. His latest victim was Everton, and Jamie Vardy's record goals in 11 consecutive Premier League games could now be at risk. Haaland's at 6 currently and only looks to be getting sharper every match week. That being said, his teammates definitely need to step up. In the Premier League this season, City's second top scorer is Burnley's centre-back Esteve with 2 OGs. Only 4 other players have contributed a single goal. Meanwhile, Ange's Forest tenure is officially over, lasting just 39 days in the job, the shortest permanent managerial reign in Premier League history. As someone who has been a big fan of Ange previously, I knew it was over at 2-0 when the camera panned over to dictator Marinakis and it was just an empty chair. The Greek had had enough of the Greek Aussie. The irony of this particular match, however, was that Forest were by far the better team till Chelsea's Achiampong scored. It all went downhill from there. It was always going to be a massive gamble for Forest, sacking a highly favoured manager who found unprecedented success playing a pragmatic, counter-attacking brand of football, only to replace him with the polar opposite manager stylistically, who had only recently been sacked following poor results in the Premier League. But even then, I'm shocked at how disastrous this has turned out to be. Ange's reputation has taken a sizable hit. I don't think his press conference rants helped him this time either. It was a truly abysmal 39 days in charge. Mancini was the early frontrunner to replace him, but reportedly talks have since collapsed, with Sean Dyche now favoured to take over. I guess Brexit ball is back on the menu. Chris Wood is probably salivating at this news. Elsewhere in the Prem, and the set-piece merchants were back to their usual tricks away at Fulham to go top of the league. Isak's replacement, Volta Messi, scored an absolutely outrageous flick away to Brighton, but it wasn't enough as Unk Welb's brace secured all 3 points for the Seagulls. It was a good evening for Villa, their 5th straight win, this time away at Spurs. Morgan Rogers hitting the Henri Selly was top-tier rage bait in front of the Spurs fans. Meanwhile, Sunderland's 2-0 victory sees them rise into 7th, whilst a winless Wolves remain rock bottom. bottom of the Premier League. And in South London, Palace v Bournemouth was one of the games of the season. 3-3 with Mateta bagging a hat-trick. He should have bagged the fourth in the 100th minute, whilst French wonder kid Eli Kroupi marked his starting Premier League debut with a brace. This kid is a future star. Shifting gears to La Liga, and Mbappe has once again bailed out Madrid against the anti-football king Getafe. Alan Yom with a generational performance off the bench, entering the pitch in the 75th minute and shown a red card 30 seconds later. I think he took the instructions to take out Vinny Jr. a little too literally. Getafe copped another red card shortly after, but the 9 men almost shockingly equalized at the death. Courtois came in clutch. Speaking of clutch, Barca's Ronald Araujo popped up in the 93rd minute to secure a must-win victory over Girona at home. This was by no means a vintage Barca display. That high line is looking shaky. Also, they'll be without Hansi Flick in next week's El Clasico as the German picked up a red card, whilst Atletico Madrid also secured a narrow victory over Osasuna. Thiago Almada, the match winner. Just quickly on La Liga, and I thought it was incredibly foolish that the broadcasters opted to hide the players' protests at the league's decision to move a La Liga fixture to the US. Disappointing, yes. Surprising, no. For the sake of time today, I've done a separate video on the matter, which I highly recommend checking out if you need additional context. Heading to Italy, and it's the Nico Paz show. In the battle of the Wonder Kids, it was the Argentine who prevailed over Kenan Yildiz of Juventus with an inch-perfect cross assist first, and then ruthlessly curling one home in the second half. That's 8 goal contributions now in 8 Serie A outings. According to manager Cesc Fabregas, Paz is a champion and has the mindset to become a top player. That is some praise from a former great. There were big results elsewhere throughout Italy. Giovanni Simeone haunted his former club Napoli, scoring the match winner as the Scudetto holders lost top spot, with Allegri's Milan taking over. Rafael Leao in his first start of the season coming up clutch with 2 big goals, one a fabulous strike, the other from 12 yards. While City rivals Inter also secured a massive result on the road to an in-form Roma. Ange Boni once again stepped up in Thuram's absence, scoring the only goal of the evening, his 5th goal contribution in just 2 Serie A starts this season. France's forward line talent is seemingly endless, and it looks like Boni could be another emerging star. He has all the ingredients to become an elite player. It's early days in the title race, but there are at least 4 legitimate contenders there. Speaking of title contenders, we had the big one in the Bundesliga, Der Klassiker, with Bayern Munich coming out on top thanks to goals from Kane and Elise. A truly spectacular match-winning assist from Dortmund's Bellingham, one of the most farcical I've seen in a while. Bayern have now won 11 consecutive games to start the new campaign. They are moving differently this season. Their star man Kane has 23 goal contributions in 11 games. That's prime Messi and Ronaldo numbers, which brings me to the old-timer goats who keep on absolutely lighting up their retirement leagues. Messi with a fresh hat-trick on the final match day to clinch the Golden Boot, 45 GA in 28 MLS games this season, while CR7 scored an absolute worldie in front of his #1 fan Speed. He also led the post-match celebrations with the home crowd as Al Nassr go top of the Saudi Pro League. Love to see our goats still cooking in 2025. In Liga 1, PSG drew with Chelsea Bayern Strasbourg 3-3, surrendering top spot to Marseille, who hit Le Havre for 6. Not sure if we've got ourselves a title race just yet, but if you analyze the table right now, it is a fiercely competitive top 10. And finally, we gotta quickly talk about the greatest league of all returning this weekend, my beloved A-League. Yes, I was bitterly disappointed with Sydney FC's opening matchday defeat, but the scenes of the F3 derby made up for it. A penalty was given to Newcastle in the 95th minute with the game tied at 2-2, but Aussie icon Andrew Redmayne miraculously made the save, and just 31 seconds later, the ball goes up the other end and Central Coast score a 97th minute match winner. Australia's own Deeney moment. Anyways guys, that's all for today's show. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you tomorrow.